You always say don't go too high or too low. Was there a challenge in trying to move forward?
Yeah, the guys were pretty excited. But we had a day off, and we really talked about that yesterday, about, putting the foot on the gas pedal and being hungrier and not letting complacency, and satisfaction slip in. And I thought we had a great practice yesterday, but we were intentional with talking about it. And it was a much needed great win in a great environment against a team that was playing really well in a rivalry game. So there were so many things that the guys were feeling great about, and they should. They should. I mean, I don't want to ever take joy out of winning, but Sunday and then Monday we came back. We took Sunday off, and Monday was back to like chasing. We got to prepare for Iowa State.
Porter, could you dive into the psyche as a coach that you have to dive into keeping guys confident? Because you said you kept drawing up plays for Javion during the game, even though early he didn't shoot well. But of course he makes the big shot for you, and I know how important he is to you. But how much do you have to work on the psyche of guys through the weeks?
It's a big part of coaching is they got to know you have confidence in them, and it's that confidence, and it's the same thing with Ortega. I put my arm around Ortega at halftime, and I said, "Hey, I'm just going to start Waldo this half, but you're going to make some big plays." I put my arm around him, and I said, "You're going to be key for us," and I thought he had his best half in a long time, and it was great to see. And but like Javion, just to continue to shoot. I mean, you can't get your best shooters hesitant. So it's got to come from me. I want to let them know that, man, keep stepping in. Good shots, got to take them.
We'll go Jesse, then Eli.
Porter, you just mentioned Ortega, but you mentioned how good he played in that second half. What maybe was different for him, and what can he take away from after halftime?
He wasn't sped up. I think that's what you probably heard me say that a lot in the first half of the season. He's letting it come to him. He's not forcing things, and he looked more like he was just not too sped up. Even that spin move that he made, he was deliberate with it. He wasn't out of control. He caught it, got him on his hip, turned, spin, and then he changed speeds. I thought he was more deliberate, not forcing things, and that's what was really good to see.
Well, and for someone like Jalen, especially with John out, you guys are need his rebounding and the things he does at the rim. Just how big was he on Saturday, and how meaningful is that going to be?
So it was huge. He had 4 offensive rebounds, and 2 or 3 of them might have been for baskets. So Sam had 5, he had 4. So you had 9 offensive rebounds just between those two. But Jalen just is Jalen. He gives us these energy plays. He's always high energy, works hard, gets his athleticism to the game, and it's the same thing. I mean, it's huge for us. It's a big part of our team, big part of our success.
Eli, Porter, talk about the night tonight in this league, and now you're seeing teams for a second time. Are you noticing either about the teams you're playing the second time or things they're throwing at you the second time around as the schedule comes around that way?
Yeah, that was you make adjustments the second time. You see what you ran, see what they did against it, and vice versa. So definitely, the coaches in this league are elite. They're making adjustments. They're seeing things from the first game. So it's a little different with this year because you only have 5 teams opposed to 9 that you're playing twice. But now, Kansas twice. We played Oklahoma State twice. Now this is Iowa State twice again now. So you definitely make adjustments.
We'll go Josh, then Mason.
Yeah, Porter, piggybacking right off that, obviously, unlike the Bedlam rematch, the first Iowa State game was 2 months ago. Was kind of that dynamic of using what's happened in the first game, but also acknowledging the teams are very different than they were
Yeah.
in December.
Iowa State, it was interesting. We have just a ton of respect for them, and they were, I think, 11-2, but they weren't ranked, and now they're 8th in the country. And you see what they're doing in the Big 12. And the thing that I really have a tremendous amount of respect for TJ and their program is they do what they do. They're going to try to get up in you. They're not changing a ton. I mean, they're making adjustments, but they are going to guard you and try to turn you over. They are going to run their offense hard, cut hard, screen hard, go downhill, and they just have a tremendous culture with what they do. And So whether we played them 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago, you better be strong with the ball against Iowa State. You better be ready to get open. You better be not expecting fouls. You're just got to play through it.
Porter, you talked about back in January after Caitlin Clark got injured in that court storming, how Cincinnati had handled your situation. The idea that, okay, this is a tradition maybe we can keep if we take this seriously and have the right precautions. See what happened with Filipowski over the weekend. Are you concerned that places aren't taking this maybe as seriously as they need to be? I am. I'm seeing it too often. So, yeah, it's got to stop. I mean, you just see some of the the entitlement of what people that storm the court can do, poking at them, and it's just there's no room for it. I mean, it's a sport that part of what makes the sport great is that it's right on top of you, but there's got to be a boundary now. There's got to be a boundary, and I think you'll see steps being taken now.
We'll go Colton, and then James.
Porter, after reviewing the film, what do you think of Waldo's day? And what's it been like having him back full week now, having been a tough week?
He's not 100%, but he won't let you know that. He's just. I thought he was terrific. I thought he didn't. Sometimes when you miss a game, you come back and you try to do things you can't do. I thought he was super solid. Didn't force things, but he just gives you such a presence of confidence. Like his presence exudes confidence to all the guys. They just they looked at him, knowing that he's back, and they were excited. And I thought he was great.
And then when he kind of tumbled there in the first half, was there a conversation about maybe shutting down, or what was that?
He came out. He just kind of tweaked it, and then they all said he was good to go, and he did. The trainer did. So we were good to go. He just kind of tweaked it. And here's the thing about for athletes, when they get something like that, you got to learn to trust it. When you have pain, whether it's an ankle or a shoulder, whatever it is, and you're coming back from an injury, there's that phase you got to go through where you just got to learn to trust it, because there's some apprehension until okay. And I think that's a big part of it is just trusting, like, all right, it's okay, it's strong enough to push through.
Well, after the game Saturday, he said they have the confidence that they're the best team in the country. Rivaldo
Wait, who said that?
Rivaldo said that you guys have the confidence, the best team in the country. How big is that to have the players that confident when you have two of these really tough games this week?
Well, we're competing against the best in the country. In our own conference, out of conference, we played Carolina. In conference, we're playing all the top. I don't know if anybody in the country has a 5-game stretch like we do. I mean, I'm looking at all these bubble watches, but tell me if somebody has a stretch of at Baylor, Kansas, at your rival who's playing really well at Bedlam, and then at number 8, Iowa State, and then home against number 1, Houston. It's a complete grind. But so we're playing against the best. I think our guys are competing in it, and the guys have a confidence that if we're guarding and doing the things we can do, we can compete against the best in the country.
James?
Porter, you don't have Yuli this game. He was big in that first game that you played against Iowa State. How does that change the matchup with Luke, a different style of player that's getting more minutes inside?
Like you said, it's a 2 different looks. John gives you this physical presence in there. But I tell you the other thing that John can do. John was our best passing big. He can pass, and we missed that with him. But Luke stretches you out. Like, you got to make a decision on how are you going to stretch. You stretch with them. So it's 2 different looks. We're following John's progress. He's doing great. He's probably a little ahead of schedule, if I had to say so. But we'll monitor his conditioning and everything to bring him back when he's healthy. But, we miss him, and we look forward to getting him back. But I thought Luke was really good. His confidence looked totally different than the previous 2 games. I thought Luke, and we just got to keep building on that confidence.
Back to Eli.
Where do the numbers support that this is the toughest conference in the nation? We hear it from you and every other coach in this league, but there's some sentiment out there. Came out of Clemson yesterday that Big 12 is not as tough as everyone makes it out to be, and that there's soft parts of schedules. What would you tell somebody, whether it's another coach or someone on Twitter saying this league is...
It's just posturing. People trying to posture their league, and it's just posturing, trying to get. And why wouldn't you? I don't blame anybody for not posturing, but just watch it on TV. Just live through it. I mean, you just see it. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Look at all the non-conference numbers. Look at it. So I don't blame any league for posturing, trying to do it. Hey, we're all trying to posture to get into this tournament. But, I mean, your eyes don't lie. The numbers don't lie. It's not even close. This league is unbelievable. Night in and night out, venues, everything. So that hasn't changed. And what just happens is we go through it and you start beating each other up. You start beating each other up, and that's when the posturing comes in.
This might be kind of blinding, but this time of the year, you usually see teams go on runs, and it's usually, at least we in the media, think it's kick-started by a big win. But the way that game ended on Saturday, is that something that like we in the media just talk about, or is that a real thing that there usually is a kick-starter to going on a run this time of year?
I mean, sometimes it's always hindsight to say that kick-started it, but like I can tell you this, big wins in February launch confidence. They launch confidence. I mean, you because we all know you need to log some wins, and logging that win was really big for our conference race, for everything, for a lot of reasons. So yeah, there's no doubt that winning, finding ways to win. I think the thing that we really talked about that launches confidence is how resilient we were. I mean, down 11, down 4, down 6, big shot they made after big shot, and we kept on answering it in an awesome atmosphere. So I think that's what to build on. Look how resilient you were. I thought our guys in every huddle stayed calm, stayed, on track of what we were doing, and that's what we were building on. Like, look at this time of year, emotions are high, and we just were resilient through an overtime game on the road.
Maybe a stronger belief in even if you need a team to miss a free throw, you just get it to the final possession, and you never know.
Because they missed a free throw? Yeah, I mean, that you need some of that too. There's no doubt you need some things to go your way. I mean, missed the free throw, So, but those are all things that happen in February, March. That's why it's madness, and you just got to keep your guys absolutely confident and ready. It goes to the shooting. Goes to the shooting. You're not going to win these games against elite defenses without making shots. We have to make some shots. We made 10 threes beating Iowa State last time. The teams that have beat them, you got to step in and make some shots because they're number one in our league at protecting the rim. They're number one in the league at protecting the rim. It's very hard to get to the rim. You better hit some shots. Therefore, you better be confident.
Gracie.
You talked about how good Iowa State's protecting the rim. Against Oklahoma State, you had like Luke and Sam out and played a smaller look with Rivaldo and with Trey. Do you think to get some more like looks on the outside, you might play a smaller?
It's been good for us. Jalen at the 5, and for a lot of reasons. So we like that option. We have that option. We had with Sam in there, and then Luke in there, and then Jalen at the 5. We've since John's been out, we've experimented with it, and we like the look, and we got it if we need it, and it's something that Jalen's just the best. He's not like, well, I got to be on the perimeter. Jalen's like wherever you need me, and so that was a good lineup for us at Oklahoma State.
Porter, going back to just what I asked you earlier, were you concerned pending a different outcome about the possibilities of what might have happened Saturday? And what do you think the solution is? Is it an outright ban? Is it mandating a safety plan?
Back to court storming you're talking about? Okay, I thought you were. And what was the question?
Well, just were you concerned about the potential of it on Saturday after that game, pending a different outcome, and then just what kind of solution?
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't thinking about a court storming there. I mean, it could have happened, but it wasn't what I was thinking. I was just thinking about how are we going to win. But now that you just see some of these things that are happening with Caitlin and Filipowski, and you just you're seeing it on some of the things that are said to these athletes too, because you're in such close proximity. I mean, we've talked about it as coaches. Some of the things that are said are crossing the line as well, and I think there's an entitlement there that that unfortunately I think has got to be stopped. There's boundaries. I mean, a player can't feel unsafe getting to the locker room after the game. He just can't. He can't do it. He cannot feel unsafe trying to get to the locker room.
So do you all out ban it, or do you have some sort of actionable safety plan?
As you know, a couple months ago I was trying to how can we make this work? And I think I've changed my tune. I think we're going to have to just eliminate them.
Any additional questions for Coach? Back to Holden.
Yeah, Porter, just when teams maybe see number one on the schedule later in the week, there's maybe like a tendency to overlook the team that you're playing. But when you're playing the number 8 team, does that maybe help you as a coach to keep the team on?
There'll be a time and place to talk about that next one. Like we haven't even talked about it. We got together yesterday and Monday. Today, there's nothing but number 8 Iowa State going there against one of the best teams in the country and one of the best venues in the country.